Look at Me.
At Me.
Number 9.
I think this was the last song to be included on the album because I'd been working on it and it went through various iterations. And I think we had 12 songs and we're like, oh, cool, we got an album. And then I thought, well, just for the fuck of it, let's throw this one on there because the lyrics were so tailored almost to the concept of egomania. And so there's actually another recording of this song that maybe we should put out for fun. It had a different approach on the rhythm and the drum part. It's the same recording, but the drums and the rhythm are different. I don't know what to say about this. I think it was written towards the end where we were really honing in on what we wanted to say about egomania, and I approached it from that perspective on the lyric. It's probably one of the most overlooked, at least talked about songs on Egomaniac, but for me, in the right mood, I still actually really like it. I like the modulation in the chorus and stuff like that.
If you listen to the chorus on headphones particularly, I think it's an amazingly produced thing there because vocally and, I mean, actually every part of it is very dense and complex and should be an absolute mess, but if you listen on headphones, you actually hear how well placed and dealt with that all that noise. It's almost Stevie Wonder-ish, I thought, when I've listened to it. Not quite. I think the art for this, there's an interesting backstory. These I was going to call these gorillas. What are they called? Giraffes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a bunch of footage of this that you'll probably see in the docu-series. When we were in South Africa in 2012, we were at a game farm at a national park, and it flooded where we were staying. We had to actually be evacuated out of the park on military helicopters. And before we got evacuated, we made it to higher ground where this other lodge was, and it was just water everywhere, the craziest rain I've ever seen, and this giraffe off in the distance looking out from the lodge in this perfect foggy day.
Yeah.
Danny obviously photoshopped multiple of them in there.
There's one different, it's one different shot where there's one giraffe looking at you in the cover.
Yeah, I remember that day very well because, we all got woken up at 5 a.m. saying, you got to get out of here. The lodge is literally going to flood. So we jumped in Land Rovers, and luckily the owners and the people who were running the lodge acted so quickly, and I think we would be screwed if they hadn't kind of saved us basically. So we drove to higher ground, and like 10 minutes later, we're eating this amazing pasta that the owner made himself, after just rescuing us.
Yeah.
And
he was covered in mud from trying to get... they lost 3 Land Rovers, not in the flood, but just trying to get away from the lodge. They got so badly stuck in the mud at that point that they couldn't get out. And these Land Rovers literally go over anything.
Yeah, these are family friends of ours that we knew from when we lived in South Africa. They're some of our best friends growing up, and we've stayed in touch to this day. And they have this amazing place that they took us to. So anyway, we ended up at higher ground and having sort of a surreal moment of holy shit, what just happened? And at the same time, we're now pretty comfortable being fed and sitting on a patio watching this rain. And then kind of out of nowhere, this giraffe just appeared. It's almost like it appeared. You didn't see it walk up or anything. You just saw this giraffe sticking out, and Danny captured it. And it became a very sort of powerful image, I think, for the piece of art.
That's one of the funny things about elephants also. They say this when you go to on safari in South Africa, is that they're very, very hard to spot, elephants. And you think, how is that possible? They are fucking gigantic. And then you're driving along and there's an elephant in front of you.
Yeah.
They somehow just come out of nowhere. And they're
quiet too.
They're quiet, and also because of their gray color, they actually blend in better than even any other camouflaged animal does.
Yeah.